Hello everybody, I am Professor Dr. V.K. Gupta from Scope Skills University Bhopal. Dear friend, again you are most welcome in this lecture series on matrices. This is lecture number 2 and in this lecture we will discuss how to determine the rank by using another method, and this another method is determination of rank of matrix by using echelon method. So dear friends, here it is necessary to understand what is echelon form of a matrix. Just see here, remember one thing, this is not a new matrices. Echelon form is reduced by given matrix. जो मैट्रिक्स आपको दी होगी उसी से आप रिड्यूस कर रहे हैं. एंड सेकंड थिंग इज दैट कि यू हैव टू रिड्यूस गिवन मैट्रिक्स इन इकेलॉन फॉर्म बाय यूजिंग ओनली रो ऑपरेशंस. डियर फ्रेंड्स, there is no permission of using column operations. You have to remember, you have to only utilize row operations on that matrix. Then you will find कि using row operations that a matrix is converted in such form in which first thing कि firstly first row of reduced matrix will be always non-zero. Here try to understand non-zero row one thing and zero row. Remember कि non-zero row that means any row of matrix in which all or some of elements are necessarily non-zero. But in case of the zero rows, here it is necessary कि all element of that particular row of matrix is always zero. Remember, all elements are zero. And this zero rows placed every time as a last row of reduced matrix, whereas non-zero rows will be preceding rows of zero rows. मतलब वन थिंग, सबसे पहले नॉन ज़ीरो रोज आएंगी और नॉन ज़ीरो रोज के बाद सबसे बाद में ज़ीरो रोज आएंगी. ज़ीरो रोज में सारे एलिमेंट्स ज़ीरो होंगे, जबकि नॉन ज़ीरो रोज में सारे एलिमेंट नॉन ज़ीरो भी हो सकते हैं और कुछ एलिमेंट भी नॉन ज़ीरो होंगे. फर्स्ट पॉइंट. सेकंड, जो भी हमारे पास रिड्यूस्ड फॉर्म में नॉन ज़ीरो रो होगा, the leading element of that non-zero element is always 1. Remember, leading element of non-zero row मतलब जो इसका starting element होगा non-zero row का वो हमेशा 1 होगा. And third thing कि every element on the column, अब मैं रो की बात नहीं कर रहा, कॉलम को देखिए आप कि मैट्रिक्स के उस कॉलम में जहां लीडिंग एलिमेंट 1 हो गए हैं उसके बाद लोअर कॉलम में सारे एलिमेंट 0 होंगे. लेट अस कंसीडर एन एग्जांपल. फॉर एग्जांपल, वी हैव एनी मैट्रिक्स 1 0 -1. Just see here we have only 1 0, but this will be considered as non-zero. And second row is 0 1 2. Third row is all elements of 0. This is 0 row which comes at the last position as a third row of this matrix. So what I said कि 0 rows always comes as a last row, and before this 0 rows all non-zero are there, and any non-zero row the leading element is always 1. Then this type of the form of any given matrix is known as echelon form. And whenever we had reduced any given matrix in this echelon form, then we will count. There is no formula, there is no calculation, we have to observe only. What is to be observed? That is number of non-zero rows, non-zero rows. This is on the basis of observation. In this illustrated example, just see here 1 and 2, that means the row number 1 having element 1, 0, minus 1, and row number 2 having element 0, 1 and 2 are non-zero row. Therefore, here we have two non-zero rows. On the basis of this observation, we conclude that the rank of that given matrix A is 2. This method is more applicable rather than the method to determine the rank by using determinant method or minor method in case of the large size of matrices. One thing. Second thing, कि sometimes when you reduce given matrix in echelon form, they may be in the form of upper triangular. Just see here, this is leading diagonal and some or all element in upper side of leading diagonal are non-zero, where at the lower position all are 0, then this type of matrix is known as upper triangular. But it is possible only in case of similar type of order, that means a squared matrix, not in case of the rectangular matrix. For example, in 3 by 4 or 4 by 3. But every time you have to observe number of non-zero rows, or on the basis of that number of non-zero rows, we will conclude that the rank of given matrix is 2. Now, let us consider an example to understand how we will determine the rank of matrix by using echelon form. Just see one example. We have to find rank of matrix A of element 2, 1, minus 1 and 0, 3, minus 2 and 2, 4, minus 3. In previous lecture, we had calculated the rank of this matrix by using minor method or determinant method. Now, we are considering the same problem. ये बताना चाहते हैं कि हमारा मेन पर्पस है रैंक निकालना. जब आपके पास प्रॉब्लम इस ऑर्डर में, इस लैंग्वेज में हो कि आपको रैंक निकालना है एंड मेथड इज नॉट स्पेसिफाइड, मेथड किस मेथड से निकालना ये नहीं बताया गया है, आपको सिर्फ बोला गया है कि रैंक निकालना है. डोंट हेजिटेट टू यूज दिस मेथड बिकॉज दिस मेथड डजंट रिक्वायर्स एनी टाइप ऑफ द कैलकुलेशन or any type of the formula, and is also applicable for large size of matrices. Here in this matrix, just see first row is 2, 1, minus 1, but according to the rule, every non-zero row in echelon form and its leading element is 1. That's for that we will change in row number 1 by dividing row number 1 by element 2. Here there is no change in row number 2 and row number 3. Just see, after change we get 1, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, but row 2 and row 3 will be 0, 3, minus 2, 2, 4 and minus 3 as it is. Now, after this first change, we get this matrix in the form 1, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, second row containing the same element 0, 3, minus 2, third row 2, 4 and minus 3. Now, just see leading element 1, we have one 0. We need another 0 in this place. For this, we will change third row by using operation twice of R3 and subtracted 1. 2 times of R3 minus R1. Sorry, 2 times of R1, R3 minus 2 times of R1. Whenever we multiply 2 in R1, that is 2 multiplied by 1 is 2, 2 minus 2 is 0, change in R3, but there is no change in R1 and R2, so that I am writing R1 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2 0 3 minus 2 as it is. And here operating this change in R3 by twice of R1 is 0 0 and 0, because 2 multiplied by R1 is 2, here 1 and minus 1, and respectively 2 minus 2 is 0, 4 minus 1 is 3, and here minus 3 minus minus 1 becomes minus 2. And next change in this matrix by the row operation, not column operation is possible. Change in third row, and utilizing next change, that means change in again third row by third row minus second row. Then we get 1, that means row number 1 as it is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, R2 as it is 0 3 minus 2, whereas there is important change in third row, it becomes 0 0 and 0. Now just wait 1 minute. Here you will observe in third row all elements are 0. In third row of this reduced matrix, all elements are 0. But in R2, first element is 0, second is 3, and third is minus 2. So that there is one possibility that we can change this 3 as 1 by change in R2. For this, R2 is to be divided by 3. There is no change in R1 and R3. For this operation, we will write 1 by 2 minus 1 by 2, 0 1 minus 2 by 3, and last row is 0 0 0. And this is our required echelon form of matrix. I am writing in A. Why? First row is non-zero row, second row is also non-zero row, but its first element is 0 and first non-zero element of the same row is 1, and last row contains all 0, that means last row is 0 row. In every row which contains non-zero element, the leading element is 1. That's why this is echelon form. Now to determine the rank of our required matrix A is number of non-zero rows. Dear friends, just count out only on the basis of observation. सिर्फ आपको देखना है, यहाँ पर आपके पास दो नॉन जीरो रोज दिख रहे हैं, दैट्स वाई नंबर ऑफ नॉन जीरोज आर 2 एंड फाइनली वी कंक्लूड दैट कि रैंक ऑफ गिवन मैट्रिक्स A is 2. So in this way this method is very much applicable for large size of matrices to calculate rank. So after this lecture we are able to find out the rank of any matrix with the two method. First one is which I have discussed in lecture number 1, determinant method or minor method. And in this lecture 2 we have second method, determination of rank by using echelon method. But normally in questions it is given कि you have to determine the rank. Method is not mentioned. So it is on you कि which method is to be applied by you. If you find कि matrix is of large size, of large order, then suitable method is echelon. Or second type of question is also that कि firstly it is mentioned to determine the rank by reducing given matrix A in echelon form. So that work out according to that, and best of luck for preparation of this topic. We will meet again in third lecture. In this third lecture we will learn to determine any other method to determine the rank. That is normal form of matrices. Till then, goodbye.